Hey guys, welcome back to Friday afternoons. I'm doing pretty well. Thanks for coming by. Everybody having a good Friday so far? Did everybody have a good week? 'Cause we're there. We're at the end. We're at the final slide, the descent right into the weekend. Descent in a good way. Hi, Ahmad. Hi, Aaron. Hi, Fam, civil engineer. Hi, Kent. JP, Gamborg, welcome back. Jado. Aline. We got Peru, Brazil, India. The world is showing up again. Denmark, UK, Poland. I'm just showing off that I can in fact read and pronounce country names correctly, which some of you are skeptical of after last time. I'll blame eyesight, not general inability to read. Ian, hello, welcome to hear from England. Dang it, that didn't work out. Hi, Abdul. All right. And we're just gonna give people just another, well, actually less than a minute. It's almost noon right now. You guys are good, you're on time. Gold star for everyone in the room. Paris. Oh, you had to challenge me, didn't you? Obrigado? Obrigado, I bet. Myanmar. Wow. The world is we're like a mini world council here. Italy. This is awesome. All right, we're gonna go live. All right, well, welcome guys. Welcome back. It's Friday afternoon, so that means we get to hang out and model stuff in SketchUp. So that's awesome. With me today on the other side of the monitor is Tyson. Say hi, Tyson.
Hey, everybody. It's great to be with you today.
Yes, we're excited because today's topic or modeling subject is a character from the new Borderlands 3. This is not sponsored in any way, but we both like the game, so we're pretty excited about this. This should be a good time. Sometimes I end up modeling stuff that I have to go look up what it actually is. This one, less so. I actually had to work hard to find pictures that I thought did justice to the model. So it's going to be a good time. So I'm excited, glad so many of you here. It's awesome. Yeah, lots of people saying hi to Tyson. Thanks. Dave, welcome back. Glad to hear you, or glad to see you. See, kind of, from Minnesota. Momo from Canada. Sylvester. Yeah, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be a good time. We're going to have a lot of fun. Oh, and Australia. I'm struggling. I got to tell you. So we're in the middle of a Colorado autumn right now, which means things like 80-degree weather on Wednesday, and then a high of 20 and 6 inches of snow on Thursday. So temperature control's a rough one lately. So we're in a closed room. You guys have heard me complain about the temperature control in here. Sometimes it gets really hot, so I may have to, in fact, I'll just go ahead and take this off right now and get rid of this.
Aaron's getting comfortable, guys. Right. Aaron's getting comfortable. It's on.
I had to show off my new shirt, too. I was so very inspired by the t-shirt design last week. I had to make it a reality. So there we go. All right, with that, we're gonna hop in here. As usual, I want to share some stuff. First thing I want to do is jump back to last week's, because I did say, hey, if you guys get a chance and you want to create a new scale figure, do that, share it, and you did that. So we had Cessna, who actually missed the build, but did post his scale figure. and I shorten it. It's actually Cessna 172 SE, which I would imagine is a. I know Cessna's a plane. I don't know, 172 SE sounds like it's a thing. Let's see who else we got here. Ian did some photo sketching. Got some artistic interpretations.
Your hair looks pretty awesome in that one.
It's epic. That was before I got a haircut. I did get a haircut since then, so got my pictures taken with my long mane. Mike did point out that my previous scale figure was a dynamic component and open and close his arms when you interacted with him. I didn't do that this time. I will admit that. Leo Vlad posted a face me component of his father, which is pretty cool. And then Ian Craig posted his son and his dog, which I thought was really cool. And this was a cool one too, because if you look, he actually has some non-black colors. One of the things we talked about was the use of black lines on black surfaces and it disappears. He actually has his lines kind of as a gray, which is really cool because then you can actually have the true black in the dog and have lines still show up. So I thought that was pretty cool. I like that one. And Mike posted a very slender, I think slightly off camera or off kilter, but he did post his. I'm suspecting that's the same one from his icon there. Looks pretty similar. Same outfit anyhow, but that looks pretty good, Jack. All right, so we're gonna hop into this. And as usual, I did go to our forum. So if you haven't been on there, it is forums.sketchup.com, which is an amazing place if you're to get any kind of information SketchUp related. If you have questions or you want to show your work, there's a gallery. If you're interested in products, want to know more information, awesome spot. It's a community forum, so people from all over the world end up on there. Not just us, not people like Tyson and myself on there, but people around the world. A lot of people who are actually here in this. This is one of the few couple of hours a week that Dave Richards is not actually actively answering all the questions on the forum. He takes a break to hang out with us here and correct me on what I mismodel in the chat. So lots of good people up there, lots of good information. But what I did was I did create a topic in the happenings section of the forum about this live model. So if you guys do have reference images or good stuff to pass to me, the best way to get it to me is to drop it right in this forum, and we can look at it or pull those files up. So yeah, so check out the forum if you haven't already. If you want to get me information, this is the way to do it. All right.
I think Dave is posting to the forum right now that he can multitask.
That's he's probably got two monitors. That would make a lot of sense. All right. So here's who we're gonna model. This guy right here. So I jumped into Borderlands a couple nights ago and did some screen capturing. So these are actual in-game references. And I managed to get a pretty good look at most of the sides of Claptrap. So we have, this is his face, got to look at his arms. At first glance, he seems symmetrical, but as you look at it, there's really nothing symmetrical about him at all. Everything is a little bit off. So his arms, for example, the upper part looks pretty similar, but you see the lower parts, the lower arms are totally different. Same with the size just of his body. The top corners are different, the sides are different. Everything's just a little bit different, a little bit asymmetrical. I got a shot here of the top. And then I got a couple shots of the back. It's pretty dark, but there's not a whole lot to be seen there. It's actually just kind of a recessed panel. And then I got a shot of one side and the other side. So one of the things you'll notice right off the bat is he's not in very good shape. He's pretty broken, abused, rusted, dented. There's a couple bullet holes. My intention right now is probably to go in initially and just model a nice, crisp, clean version of this. We'll still have some of these, like they look like patches or something. We'll still put all that in there, but I'm not going to really worry to start off with about things like these dents, that kind of thing. I want to first off just get all the root or the base geometry of the parts of Claptrap. And then once we have that in there, we can go in and talk about how would we go about putting in a little dent like this, or how would we, put these different damage pieces on him. So that's a good example. So we'll go ahead and jump right in. And actually, I was going through this and I was thinking, I should point this out too. One of the reasons we get Tyson today is he's also a Borderlands fan, and I figured he's actually playing through the game right now, and he can throw in information about what we're actually modeling. So I don't know if you need to pull up the wiki page on Claptrap to come up with specific details, but he's actually, Claptrap is short for CL4P-TP, which is his model number, and that's everything I know about him.
And I'll have to look some up, because other than and y'all will have to sort of just shout out if you want Aaron and I to stop geeking out about Borderlands, because we're both pretty huge fans, and we can spend the whole time just kind of geeking about what we were playing, last weekend or something.
So listen, all right, we'll do this once. This is just it. Anyone who is actually a Borderlands fan or playing it or knows it, just go ahead and shout out now so we can just go, yay, and then we'll be done with it. For those of you who aren't Borderlands fans, this is a cool model that we're going to be doing. So that should satisfy everyone. All right. All right. So we're going to hop in here. Yay. I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm not going to actually pull in very many photo references. I don't really, nothing I have is straight on. Like I said, these are all in-game pics. So I think I'll primarily model from just looking at reference images and maybe pulling images in as watermarks so I can look at them on screen. You guys have seen me do that a bunch of times. Vlad, I actually have a little bit of some screen printing stuff out in my garage. I happen to have an empty screen, some white ink, and a blank red t-shirt sitting in my garage. No joke, just had those things. So I figured on Tuesday, I could probably make a screen. And printed this last night. So it wasn't actually, nobody was planted to give that idea for the Face Me component. That was all organic. This part just came together afterwards. So, all right, let's hop in. Let's do this thing. Syed is saying he can't hear clearly at full volume. I don't know if it looks okay on this end. So on Facebook, I know sometimes you may have to close the stream and hop back in, and that may fix your volume issue. But unless we hear an uproar, then we're just going to keep rolling with this because there's not much more I can do about volume. Like I said, it's we're right on the edge of being too loud according to the little green and yellow bars I got over here. All right, so let's hop in and sketch this thing up. All right, so here we have Mark. I'm going to keep Mark temporarily. It sounds like audio is good, so Syed, if you want to try hopping out and hopping back in, that may fix you. I'm going to leave Mark in temporarily because I don't have exact dimensions on Claptrap, but I know based on seeing him, he's like maybe stomach high on Mark, something like about this big. So we're going to keep him just initially to get the rough massing in for Claptrap. All right, so I'm going to start with going to my styles, and I'm going to edit and go to watermarks and import one of my images. And I'm going to grab the one, there we go. Claptrap's got his arms out. All right, so I'm going to put this in as a background image. No, I'm going to, and position it over to the top left. I'll actually make it a little bit smaller for right now. All right, we can come down to this far. There we go. Precision. It's all about precision. All right. Okay, so there we go. So now we have a nice reference image. We're just going to start. Yeah, Vlad pointed out that YouTube might sound better, so you might consider switching. Audio's good on Twitch, so sounds like we're doing good. Nailed it. All right. One of the things that happens with Claptrap is where's my images? This right here. If we look at him, Tyson pointed this out. Other than the flat of the top, there's really not a whole lot of straight geometry to him. You see, he looks like a cube, but he is tapered. So the bottom is smaller than the top. And I'm fairly certain that there's not actually right angles here one side to the next. I think they're kind of squared off slightly. So we'll start with, we're going to start with a rectangle, an extruded rectangle, and then we'll come and we'll knock these corners off using maybe an extension or something. So I'm going to start with a square. Come in here and see what, let's see what 24 by 24 looks like. Pull that up to about to Mark's stomach. Yeah, that looks, would you be good with that, Tyson? That looks Claptrappy. Right. All right, so I'm going to take the bottom. I'm going to take it off the ground just a little bit because he does have that wheel under there. I'm going to take this right here, scale it, I'm going to option scale, and start with something like that. All right, so there's my initial shape. All right, so we have a couple things to do. So the reason, what I want to do is I do want to knock these corners off. I want to kind of come in and just get little flat cuts. The reason I didn't do that before I shrunk it is because if I did that first, if I had come into that rectangle, taken the corners off, and then scaled the bottom, those flat sections on the edge would start bigger and get smaller as they got to the bottom profile. I don't want that. I want an even cut all the way down. So there's a couple ways we can do this. As usual, I'm going to try to talk about some of our options here. One is to come in here and just put a line right across here. So I'm going to come up a specific amount. I'm going to go up 1 inch. There's my point at 1 inch. I'm going to come this way 1 inch. I'm going to connect the two together. Now, if this were straight up and down, I could grab push-pull and I could take this surface and pull it straight down. But because I tapered it, I can't do that anymore. So if I was truly determined to do this with native tools, what I could do is come in here, come over here 1 inch, come over here 1 inch, and I could draw a line like that. And then I could connect that up to the point on the top and that down to the bottom, and then erase these pieces. And that will give me kind of the look I'm looking for. Now, that's what I said I could do. Thank goodness for extensions because they make stuff so much easier. What I'm going to do instead, hey, first thing I'm going to do, save this model. I'm learning, guys. I'm still learning.
I think you need to be able to hit your chest and you get a sound effect. And
Ding!
various sound effects.
So what we're going to do is we're going to use rounded corners. I'm going to go into view my tool palettes and grab, actually it's not called round corner anymore, it's called Fredo corner. And in Fredo corner, these are very tiny profiles, but I have the ability to actually round things off on in a couple different ways. So I'm going to start just grabbing, the wrong button there, just my 4 verticals. I'm going to round this over, but I'm going to round this over the second time. And I have option here as to how I want to round them off. The first one is a truly round corner. So that'll actually give me multiple segments and give me an arc basically around there. The bevel, then I have a subdivision corner, and I have a chop corner. I think chop corner is what I'm looking for here. Seems about right. All right, I guess I'm gonna have to update. I'm gonna have to update my Fredo corner. Let's see how we can do that. I don't think Fredo corner is on extension warehouse. I think I have to go to Sketchucation for that. So always check the state of your. Seriously? Wow, this is just all at once, man. Let's stay logged in.
At least before you start live streaming, check the state.
If you're in a live stream in front of a couple hundred people, check your. Actually, so this is probably one of those unintentional issue that comes up with intentionally not over learning or over processing my models beforehand. As I said, I like to share my thought process on how I'm going to do these things.
Before you jump back, Dave's also suggesting you update libfredo.
Oh, odds are good.
To make sure it's working together.
That's a great point. So there are a handful, for those of you who don't regularly come in here, there's two that I could think of. There's probably more, but I know Fredo and TomTom both have a separate library that you have to get with their extensions. It's a dependency. I'll go ahead and just download this just in case. And I will install both of them. Let's see what happens now. I may have to exit out of here. Some extensions will require you to restart SketchUp after install them. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to. Good thing I saved, huh? Leave SketchUp and come back in. Yeah, that's a pretty strong extension for native tools right there, huh? I'm just kidding. We're out about a minute now. All right. Let's go ahead and open Claptrap back up.
Two people have asked, so I think it's worth pointing out again that because you tapered the bottom, been questions on follow me or questions on why wouldn't you draw an arc and just push it or create that chamfer a different way. And it's worth pointing out because of that tapered angle, follow me is not going to behave in a nice way, and push pull, as you showed at the beginning, is also not going to do it without some effort. You could, but it's going to take a lot of hand drawing.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. What I basically would have to end up doing is making that chamfer geometry and then aligning it with each corner. So if I wanted to use push, pull, or follow me, I'd have to create the triangle. The triangle would have to be perpendicular to this line, and it would have to be up off the geometry and then come down through it. So it's all possible. It's totally possible. And in the amount of time it's taken to get this Fredo corner up and running, I probably could have showed you exactly how to do it, and it's still not working. This was my plan here, was to use that. But plans are made to be broken. So if I did, let's just say, how would I go about doing that? Actually, I want to know why Fredo's not working now. Come on, man. Here, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to go find Fredo Live, or Live Fredo, and Fredo Corner. Fredo Corner. There we go. Fredo Corner, and I'm going to uninstall it. All right, now I'm going to go try reinstalling it. Probably should have restarted between the two. See what happens. Oops, gotta select some geometry first. Usually a thing happens now. Sweet. You guys know how this works. Anytime I'm like, hey, let's just try this Fredo corner is solid though. I use the Fredo corner all the time. All right, so we're gonna take it off and I'm just gonna exit out of here. I'm gonna quit SketchUp altogether with it uninstalled and then just go in there and do a fresh install. I gotta be totally honest with you guys. When I'm talking and clicking and stuff, I don't really pay good attention to exactly what I'm doing. So I may have done something wrong there, but I don't know. I wasn't watching me. All right, let's try this again before I lose all the credibility that I have going on. Okay, so we go here now. Fredo corner's still there even though I installed it. Not my fault, see? That's an odd one, huh? Is it gone from here? Fredo corner's still here even though I installed it. Not my fault.
I want the Han Solo, meme that we can throw up there. It's not my fault. It's not my fault.
Absolutely.
They told me they fixed it. Actually, I'm sorry. That's Lando. That's not Han Solo.
That's right. That is. That's right.
I'm gonna get called on that pretty quick.
I hope so. All right, we'll try. Lucy, maybe it's a issue. Fredo corner. Let's try beveling's corner. No, it's just not working. Okay, cool. Well, I'm just gonna go wipe it out. All right, Fredo, make me look like a. All right, manage, uninstall, uninstall. It's gone. It's not here anymore. Okay, closing, quitting, reopening. I sound like Flint Lockwood. All right, one more time.
Engage coffee break.
Okie doke. Close, close. Oh, hey, check that out. Well, I already know I need to. All right, I'm gonna open Claptrap. This is it. This doesn't work. We're going manual. All right, so first off, is it still gone? No Fredo corner. All right. Tool palettes. No Fredo corner. Okay, sweet. Now let's install it. We're installing it fresh. Open. Yes. All right. Now let's grab these. I'm an optimist, so I'm just going to grab all 4 of them, assuming everything works now. Excuse me, Mark. Go to view 2 palettes. Grab my Fredo corner. So we'll try this again next Friday. Thanks for coming by, guys. Oh, that's good. That's good fun. That's clean fun right there. Yeah, I noticed that.
I want to fully come to Aaron's defense here because with this model, you absolutely want to have this plugin. It's really going to make your life so much better. Man. And so going through the pain of making this plugin work should be worth it because this model is going to be a pain otherwise.
Yeah, so there is one other that I know I'm going to have to use, and that's joint push pull, and it just told me that it's out of date too, so I'm going to go take a shortcut there. Oh, man. We'll just do this now. How's everybody else doing? How's everybody's weekend doing?
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. Fun times. All right.
Show us what you're modeling.
All right, so I'm just going to spend, I'm just going to do this right now. Install extension. Joint push pull, open. It's not popping up and asking me for permission to install it, so I think something is happening incorrect. So I'm just going to go to joint push pull right now. Same thing. I'm going to uninstall it, uninstall, and I know I'm going to get error messages, but I'm going to uninstall Live Fredo as well. And going to go to, make sure they're gone. All right, I'm going to go ahead and quit SketchUp. Just do it all from scratch again. All right, so these are the error messages I'm going to get because I don't have live Fredo installed. So the other Fredo extensions you're looking for are going to complain. I expected that. All right, so let's go back in here. This is it, guys. I apologize. Thanks for hanging with me. Let's try this again. Extension manager. We will install Fredo, live Fredo, open. Fredo, live Fredo, there it is. And the other one I know I'm going to want is joint push pull. Joint push pull, okay, they have both installed. Okay, now let's just do some testing. Let's go to tool palettes. Let's see, joint push pull. All right, that's working. Grab a line right here, go to tool palettes, and grab Fredo corner. Did I not reinstall it again?
You may not have. You installed 2 of them, I think.
Okay. All right, Fredo corner. Ooh, and there's not a space between Fredo and corner this time, which leads me to believe this is different. Let's go to tool palettes. Maybe he pulled it out of a normal tool palette. Tools, let's see, if we go to Fredo collection, joint push pull is the only thing in here.
Of course.
You know, some days, stuff, and this is just a stuff day. All right, I'm this far from dropping this all together.
Does he have the old school round corner that you could grab if the newer
Maybe.
one's not working?
So it's not there. Just gonna try reinstalling one more time, and then I'm done with this. This is open. Fredo corner.
What's the green button, Dave?
Am I missing something?
Well, you know, the suggestion is to go into the back end, open the plugins folder, purge them from there, and then reinstall.
Yeah.
But
We'll just go native on this thing. All right. Last restart, and then we're going. All right, let's see. There it is. Just wanted one more restart apparently. It wanted more of me than I was first ready to give. All right, let's grab a corner, tool palettes, Fredo corner. All right, we're back. We're up and running, guys. That was way more work than it should have been. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to do this corner on here. I don't know if this is the right corner. No, this is not the right corner. I want to do this corner. There we go. I want to do I don't even want to do a 1-inch offset. I want to do like 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, that's the stuff. Go ahead and cut that. There we go. That looks cool. So one of the other details you'll notice right here is actually more visible in this top view, but the top knocks off at an angle also. It does not look like it's not a perfect 45-degree angle between the front and the flat, though. It's more shallow. So I'm going to do this a little bit differenter. I'm going to take this and I'm going to offset it, let's say 1 inch, I'm going to grab this and I'm going to move it vertically and just let it give me that geometry. All right, so that's this right here. Hey, we're doing good so far. Well, now that we're actually modeling, it's going great. All right. All right. I have an inkling to start at the top and work my way down because a lot of the geometry that's on the top actually spills over onto the sides. So I kind of want to hop up here and work my way down. So I'm going to come here to Styles, and I'm going to change my watermark. I'm going to add, one of these had a good view of the top. Here we go. Background image. And we're going to position that. Oh, I was going to put it below the other one, but that's where I am. All right, we'll drop this down here. We're just going to make a. Okay, now we're all referenced up. All right, at this point too, I'm going to take Mark out because he's too much stuff on the screen. I already got my screen full of stuff. All right, so what our buddy Claptrap has here is kind of like these two rails that run and drop down the front. He's got kind of a corner patch, looks like additional material built up on this corner. And then he has these things right here, which are actually hinges to the doors that is where his arms go in. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to start by just kind of mocking up some geometry. I'm going to start by putting a line right down the middle. This is assuming this is the front. Here, I'll go ahead and, as a placeholder, that's how we know where the front is. That's where his little lens will go, or somewhere around there. So some of this is symmetrical. Some of it, like I said, is not. He actually has a lot of asymmetry on him. You know, I actually want to look. So this shape actually comes up and over, and that's what dips down then in the front also. So that's these rails. They actually go the whole length of him. Cool. So we'll start with that. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to come over 4 inches. Not because 4 is anything, but just for the sake of keeping it symmetrical. I know if I go 4 one way, I can go 4 the other way. And then we'll call these, let's say 1.5 inches wide. All right, there we go. So I'm going to grab this. I'm just going to option copy it over like that. Cool. All right, and now I'm just going to let so I'm going to come out to straight out on the green line. Come straight down. That way I'm assured that I have a nice parallel line right there. Just going to draw those around like that. And then I'm going to drop it down on the surface. I am going to come down vertically. I think it's hard to tell if it tapers in around the eye or not. I'm going to assume it doesn't. All right, and I'm going to rotate this back so it hits the face. I'm going to grab that, I'm going to hit my rotate, and I want to rotate around the red axis. I'm just going to grab this surface, pull it back till it hits that face there. Is that right?
I think that circle's
Not
off
quite. Oh yeah, nothing's. Ooh, Tyson was right. He said nothing's going to align on this. He was right. So let's use the line over here instead. There we go.
I have not finished, but I've actually tried to model Claptrap in the past, and
I didn't know that.
he's got some challenges.
Oh, see.
This is fun.
Watching somebody else do it?
Oh, yes. or watching somebody else fail.
But not yet.
I'm not calling you out, but
Kind of sound like he's calling me out. All right, so these ones definitely look like they taper in a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one, scoot it over, I'm going to drop it down. All of this I'm trying to stay on face with all this. So I'm going to kind of The one image I don't have is the one I'm, so a little more cleanup down here. Looks like these actually cut over, maybe something like that. And then what I'll do is I'll come to the middle point and I'll use my new favorite technique of copying geometry. I'll grab that right there and use a DBO mirror to use my little flag here as a copying surface. Hold down Option and click to copy that over there. All right. It does look like these do come in too. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to scoot this over 5/8 of an inch. Take this one, scoot it over 5/8 of an inch. Now, this is when the fun stuff's going to start happening. Assuming extensions all work the way they should and they're all installed, I'm going to grab all of this and I'm going to use joint push pull to pull these out. Yeah, like just a 1/4 inch. That gives me those rails. All right, now up here we have, like, the majority of it is like this vent looking thing right here. I'm going to come in here so I can get a little bit better look at this. It kind of comes up and then kind of slopes down a little bit, has vents set inside, and what I don't know is how far. It's kind of like this raised area back here, so it doesn't come all the way to the edge. Actually, it looks like it comes pretty close to the edge, but just slightly inset, and then that's where the antenna builds up too. Yeah, thanks, Dave. Dave's catching me. These are Tig's split donut and split sausage. They're just the tastiest extensions you can find out there, but they are really good if you're doing subdivision modeling, which is what I generally use them for. All right, I'm going to come in here, and it does look like this vent thing is set back a little ways, so I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to take this and offset this ever so slightly. And pull this forward. And this is one of the things that I've noticed. If you ever follow the modeling of people who do tech models, people like Liam Keating or Chris Rosewarne, who do technological models, robot models, that kind of thing, one of the things that really makes a model look like high definition or realistic is the gaps between geometry. So keeping this little gap in here between these two pieces is going to make it look like separate chunks. Panel lines you see on movies all the time, right? You have just these little drawn on panel lines, little dot rivets, that kind of thing. It's a neat and easy way to kind of sell some detail. All right, so I'm going to say something like this is kind of what I'm seeing. All right, and I'm going to do offset this a couple times. Once here, once here, and this I'm going to pull up ever so slightly. And now I'm going to want to put these vents in here. And like I said, he's just absolutely abused and barely hanging together in most of these images. I think there's actually a lot of tape on him. But I'm going to go for a little bit crisper, a little bit cleaner Claptrap. Oh, there we go. There you can really see. So it comes across a little further, and then the vent goes almost all the way down. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So about 8. So this whole section right here, though, slide forward like that.
I think in the series, every iteration of the game, he looks even worse. So at some point, you wonder if there's just
robot abuse,
a bandage, yeah, a wheel of bandages rolling around.
And it's funny because when originally I started looking for images of Claptrap, and every game. So this is the fourth game he's been in. He was actually a playable character in the pre-sequel. He is more and more detailed too. If you go back and look at Borderlands 1, he's actually very clean. I mean, everything in Borderlands has those little edges where it's like nicks and that kind of thing, but his lines are nice and straight and clean, and he's really pretty easy. I mean, we're like 80% there on Claptrap episode or from Borderlands 1. All right, so one of the things I'm going to do here is I'm going to make this into a component right now. I'm going to give it a name because you have to do that. And I'm going to raise it up a little bit. Actually, it's a little bit too big. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to go parallel to that like that. I'm going to say divide that by 7 total. That gives me my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. Now I'm going to I can go into 1 and I can make them fill that space up. There's actually even less space than that. All right, and I'm going to delete all of these because I'm going to take this one, scoot it down like that. I'm going to grab it, copy it up to like here, and say divide that by 7. All right, and now I can actually grab these. I made them a little bit short, but I do want to pull them out to the edges like that. And then I don't need to keep them as separate pieces. I just want to make them separate pieces for them to do that array. But now that I have the geometry right where I want it, I can take it and explode it. If I was concerned about keeping this 3D printable, which totally could happen, I could just hop inside here and delete these extra surfaces. I'm not going to beat this to death, keeping this solid, but I figured this is a pretty easy example of an easy way to clean up from the inside. Missed a couple. All right, and just a shout out, I know it's already happening, probably someone's already asking, this is a good use for the 3D mouse. The 3D mouse doesn't do what the rolling does, where the closer I get, the slower my zooming gets. With the 3D mouse, your speed is absolute, so you'll punch through walls, out the other. It's real quick and easy to get inside of something if you want to check it to make sure that there's no redundant geometry on the inside model. Okay. That's done. Okay, moving along. So he does have this kind of antenna array thing on the top of his head too. It looks like it's a kind of a raised up chunk up here, and then it kind of spills over and goes down his back a little bit, and that's what the antenna comes up out of. So I'm going to make something like that. I'm going to make it with, I'm just going to kind of go simple rectangle like this first, raise it up, and kind of slopes back maybe a little bit like that. Do this. Looks like this goes almost to the edge. I'm not doing dimensions very well on this, just so everybody's clear. This is kind of falling more in that sculpting method of doing stuff. I'm going to raise this up, and then to get the angle on here, I'm just going to do something like this and pull that back. And I kind of feel like this actually stays forward just a little bit. Double click here to do the same offset. All right, and this is where the antenna rises up from, which if you do play the game, the antenna is actually part of a quest early on in the game. And you actually accessorize your Claptrap and modify antennas. But I won't spoil it for anybody who doesn't want to hear about it.
Can I give a little spoiler?
Yes,
Just
you can.
Spork.
Yeah, it gets cool. All right, so one of the things that Claptrap's beat up like the rest of him, antenna does, is you can see it's actually multiple pieces taped together. So what I'm gonna do for right now is I'm just gonna do a quick offset. I'm gonna bring this up. Then I'm gonna bring this through again. And then it has, I wonder if I have a picture of his entire antenna. It's like I just kind of chopped it off on every single screen capture. All right. Well, if anybody has a good picture of, oh, there we go. All right, so it kind of goes back in, and then it kind of comes up like this to a ball shape on the top, rounded out over shape. All right, we will do that. I'm gonna do that, of course, with follow me. So I'm gonna start by going right in the middle, coming over. There we go. I'm gonna say it comes out to about this wide. So I'll set my taper with a single line like this, and then put a circle here like this. All of that to get that shape. So we can take this, follow me. All right, it's a little too wide. So I'm gonna grab not this portion, but just this top portion. Go to scale and shift. Shift option scale to make that a little smaller. Move this down vertically. All right, I feel better about that. I don't have the details of the bandages and that kind of stuff in here, but I can get a little bit of a taper by taking this and pushing it up. Grab this guy, pull it down. Getting a little bit more of a taper rather than a hard edge look. And if I wanted to smooth it off even more, I come in here and option erase that circle. That gives me a little bit more of a clean edge there as well. All right. Cool. Super. All right, we can take this off now. Let's see what else we got going on top here. Like I said, we do have like this patch on the front, this thing right here. That's definitely a thing that's up there. Ooh, it looks like there's a little recessed screw right here. That's like fun. It also kind of looks like all the sides of this little piece on top kind of angle in a little bit. We could do that, I think. Well, it's gonna be harder now. Should have done this earlier. I can grab this, kind of pull it out like that. To move this over, it's gonna be a little bit tricky because I already have this sloping part right here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this geometry right here. I'm gonna scoot it over, sure, 3/16 of an inch. Do the same thing here. Grab that geometry there. Scoot it over. Oops, grab too much. Scoot it over. Oop, didn't grab enough. There we go. Move it over 3/16 as well. 3/16? Not 13/16. There's a difference. All right, I'm gonna grab my entire antenna plus this piece right here and scoot it to the left. Also 3/16. All right, so what I'm gonna be able to do now, there's not a simple way for me to just scoot this over because of that angle. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna pick how I want to angle that. Actually gonna put this back to square for right now. And then I'm going to take that line to here, take that down, parallel to this, so inference there, and then trace that back like that. And I know I'm going to have a hole in here for right now, for just a second. That's okay. And then what I can do, I'm actually grab this line, copy it over here. That'll give me this face closed. To build this taper, you can see it's not actually square. I mean, it's not, so I can't actually do that. So one of two things has to happen. Either the angle this way of this line has to change, or the angle of this one this way has to change. So I'm going to try this. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to grab this line right here, copy it, and stick it right down here. I'm going to take this line out to here, this line up to here. Ooh, it did work. All right, so that gives me that little bit of a taper that I was looking for on that face. All right, how do I copy that over here? Well, really the easiest way is to grab this line right here, put it over here. No, you know what? I do know an easier way to do it. I can grab just this face right here. I'm going to put another one of my mirroring flags right in the middle. And then I can say mirror along here, option click. What that'll do is that will actually, see that? So I put that mirroring surface, that mirrored surface underneath there. Oh, but I'm not quite symmetrical apparently. Just when I thought I had it all. All right, so how is that not the same?
Because the line's just a little bit different from the midpoint based on the first one.
Oh, because I chose the midpoint based on, because I cut the angle here. Oh, math. There's geometry in action right here, guys. So the midpoint here is different because I lopped off a little bit of geometry. I actually want the midpoint of the bottom line. Ugh. Precision. It's all about precision. Let's see how that worked. There we go. Look at that. Whew. Awesome. So yeah, so if you ever are in, I kind of like Claptrap with a flag on his head. All right, so there we go. So I got a little bit more of a angle there. And like I was saying, it looks like on this back side that there's like a little bit of a drop down set in with a screw in it. That's the fun detail that I like. So I'm gonna make it. I'm just gonna go like this, push that in, and I'm gonna say it's a hex head. I can't see from that picture what it actually is, but I'm just gonna grab a 6-sided piece, put like that. That is way too straight, so I'm gonna go off at a weird angle, pull that out. All right, there we go. Cool, coming together. Save.
Do you like that mirror extension better than flip or scale?
I do. I like using that reference. I still, to this day, have a hard time remembering which way to flip over different axes. I can't do it. It's like 9 times out of 10, I guess backwards. So I don't even try that anymore. I know there's other extensions out there. TIG has a mirror. There's another one or two out there also that are awesome, just as good. But this just happens to be the one that I ended up hitching myself to. Hey Marconi, welcome back. All right, so I'm gonna work my way down. No, actually, I'm gonna work on this 3D patch thing right here. It looks like from that side and this side, it's pretty easy. It just comes over, comes straight down, and then in the front, it comes down, it cuts over, angle, and then wraps around. So I'm gonna do all of that with joint push pull. I'm gonna set, just like I did over here, a little bit of an offset. Just come over 1/8 of an inch. And I'm gonna come over like this, here. what do I have to do here? Well, let me see. Relative, it doesn't go that far down. This, come back here, back up again. Nothing gets to be straight on this one. All right, so now I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna do this in a couple pieces. I'm gonna come down parallel to this line. I'm gonna come down vertically and then back, just like I did on the other side. So there's that line, and I'm gonna right now just pull that straight across. Because then I'm gonna come in afterwards, once I have a surface to work on, I will do that cut. No, more, one more. Like that. All right, now that I have those lines just separated, I can grab all of this and I can do a joint push-pull again and pull that up like that. There we go. And that does look like it has some detail on it. Something like this. And what I'm going to do, again, because I want to try to keep that panel detail, I'm going to draw a parallel line like this. And I'm going to push-pull this all the way back. So that cut goes all the way through. That way we'll get this line that's right here on the image. We'll keep that. We'll hold on to that. And I'm going to throw these circles in here too. So I'm going to come in here. A 5/16 circle sounds perfect. 5/16. This one's going to be a little weird because it's going to kind of come off the geometry just a little bit. That's okay. I'm going to do the same thing here, I think. I'm just going to say offset this, and I'm going to offset it out. Yeah, 1/16 of an inch. Do the same thing on this guy. Same thing on this guy. That's going to be weird. And I'm going to push that back like that. All right, with this, I'm going in way too tight, way too small, well beyond where it will matter. But I sometimes just can't help yourself, you know? Just get that feeling. I'll get rid of that. And I'm going to take this surface, option, push-pull, all the way back down to the ground, the inside there. I'll get rid of these two lines. And then this one, I'll push in that 1/16 of an inch like the other pieces. All right, so there we go. Clean up a little bit. I had to clean up oh, that's why. Surface formed right there. Get rid of that. All right, there we go. That's a thing I just did. Cool. Save. All right, it's coming together. It's all coming together. All right, so let's take a peek at this eye. Nailed that ocular joke. If you guys haven't played Borderlands, you should know that one of the things that Claptrap is known for, besides actually mostly being kind of annoying, is he does crack a lot of jokes. So that's maybe in honor of Claptrap, that last one. All right, so I'm gonna say this all looks like it should move up a little bit. Yeah, that's gonna be our problem now. All right, let's try, here, let's do this.
Few people know Claptrap and are throwing out Claptrap quotes.
Nice. All right, that's not working. Oh, because none of this, again, none of this is parallel. Nothing will be easy.
Nothing's friendly.
So I'm gonna have to like go in and do basically a 3-dimensional excavation here. Nope, nope, nope. Pull out, pull out. Okay. How can I do this? Oh, I really worked myself into a corner right here. Let's see, if I push-pull this, no. I wonder if I could, because I can't even just move it up because it's out of plane. So this should be so simple, but because it is so off plane, it's going to be not simple. I'm going to try something. I'm going to see if this works. Let's say I want to push this back in. I'm going to see what joint push pull will do for me on here. No, that didn't do it. Got me close.
Dave suggests a vector push-pull. I don't know if
Would that work? I was wondering if that would, because I don't think this is a straight vector. I think. Well, let's try it. So I love joint push-pull. I just gotta say I'm not complaining about it, but I gotta comment. These are so hard to see. These little, each of these different color push-pulls has a little letter next to it. The letters are about 4 pixels high. I think this is vector. Oh, look at that. See, I got a big V. Is that? How do I set the vector I want to push pull to? All right, there we go. That's awesome looking, but not helpful for me. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Oops, I didn't mean to necessarily close that, but this is an old-fashioned solution because I'm done playing with this. I'm gonna grab push-pull face. I'm gonna grab this line and pull it straight out like this. And then I'm going to use the same command. Come on, man. Just when you thought it was going to be easy. All right, fine. I'll do it this way. Nope, I won't do it that way. I'll do it this way. You can't make me do math, no matter how hard you try. I'm going to slide it. Like that. Now, I can actually put an intersection line from there to there. Didn't work. Let's try this. Let's grab this surface, and this surface, and intersect face with selection. Ooh, maybe that'll work. Hey. Awesome. Let's hear it for planning ahead. Okay, so I don't want to do that twice, of course. So what I'm going to do is throw another flag out here. And then I can grab this surface right here, mirror that, option click, and then I should be able to, I like to go, grab all of this. Intersect faces with selection. Oh, it's still not giving me a...
Wow. It is fighting you hard.
Oh, because I did a thing I didn't know I did. Oh, well, that's easy. I'll just do this. I was trying to maintain geometry. I didn't have to. Okay. Man, if I had known that was there. I thought I had a nice even face there. I didn't want to mess it up. My mistake. Okay. Cool. I know there's a lesson there to be learned somewhere, but I don't know what it is. Don't do dumb stuff. You can quote me on that. All right, I'm gonna draw a line across here. Put my circle in like that. And all of that was done because this is actually set back in. You can see that this whole lens array is actually back to here or so. It's pushed a ways back in. So what I'm going to do, I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. I think what I want to do is I want to take it back to here. So I'm going to grab this and I'm going to push pull this. It's got to go even, oh, that'll work. That's the work. Push pull this down like this. All I want is that inside line. So I want this geometry right here to go straight back to where it meets this vertical plane I just created on the inside. So I'm going to get rid of some of this geometry because I don't need it. Close that back up and close this back up. And then I'll take this and, oops, I closed my join push pull UI because I want to push this vector push pull. I want it to go straight back in. So I actually want to go on the green axes back to the face like that. Nope, didn't go back enough. I want to lap through. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Beautiful. So now I can grab all this geometry, intersect with selection, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. All right, so now I have that inset, and I can start building the eye in there. What did I do here? Oh, I did not quite push-pull that through far enough, did I? Right on the edge. Let's see.
There's a question in here I think is kind of interesting from a SketchUp philosophical point.
Ooh, let's get deep.
Yeah, question is, why not make these various parts as individual separate parts, which makes them easier to edit, and then at some point later on merge them. And I think if I took a stab at it, which is to
Absolutely.
say, sometimes that actually is a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've done that a few times, then you also know that sometimes SketchUp doesn't merge geometry like it should as cleanly as you think you've done it.
That's fair.
Because little errors crop in, and those make that means it does work. Sometimes it doesn't work. If you're trying to make it all as one nice clean model for a 3D print, which it seems like you're doing.
Could be. No
And I
promises.
think sometimes you start down a path that you think is going to go one way, and you get far enough along that you can't really back out necessarily.
Yeah, that happens. Totally has happened before, maybe in the past. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, there's no reason you couldn't do that. You could absolutely do that. That is 100% an option. I'm not doing that in this case because I want to model one big solid, but there's certain situations like this eye, for example. As I come in here and start to make this, I think I'm pretty quickly going to end up grouping it and working on the geometry separate from the main model. In fact, I think that my whole eye is really not high enough up either, because this line should be right up around here. I'm just realizing this now. Sorry, that wasn't actually an answer to your question, but I think Tyson pretty much covered it. Let's see. A lot of that comes down to purpose-driven modeling. I just made that term up, but it sounded pretty good. What are you modeling for? What do you want to get out of it? That sort of thing. If If you know, depending what you want to do with this is going to change how you model it. If you like, it's also going to come down to how do you prefer to model. This is totally a for fun model, right? This is not going to go into a real video game. This isn't going to get used anywhere other than on here. So maybe I will end up 3D printing it or something like that. But other than that, there really is no reason to build it in a specific way. That really is generally what controls how you're going to want to build your model. But yeah, if you like component modeling, which I think is great, then you should totally do that.
I think when we're done, and maybe there'll be a few more contenders, but next week's shirt, Aaron, is now going to be either don't do dumb stuff or purpose-driven modeling.
TM.
I think there's good case for both of those.
This is not a standard I'm prepared to maintain. Custom shirts every week can't be happening. All right. So I'm bringing this whole array up because I actually don't want this. I want this to be very higher up. So I'm actually just pulling this. Oops. That's going to get these lines across. Probably this is what I should have done originally. Was figured out where that, based on the location of that circle, I should have figured out where to put this and not just some would argue it's still arbitrary. All right, there we go. All right. Ooh, man, I thought it was interesting that, well, now we learned that Tyson has already tried this once. But the call out that immediately, wow, nothing's on plane. What's the? No, don't even. All right.
I trust you will. You will get farther than I did when I threw my hands up and walked away.
Smart guy. All right, there we go. Awesome. Now I will take this. I will vector push pull it again. I may have made some ugliness here that I don't want to end up living with, but we'll see. Oh, that's not too bad. All right, so there is what I'm going to call the eye pit, like an armpit, but for an eye. That's where the eye goes. Awesome. That I'm happy with. All right, so if I come in here with my line here, this is my outer circle. That looks a lot closer to what we got here. It kind of looks like this may even come out like this because it looks like it's got a little bit of a rim around here, which I'm going to do by offsetting this ever so slightly, and then I'm going to select this and pull it forward like that and let autofold give me that shape. Now his eye has a couple pieces. So this red part is kind of angled. It's broken into 6 sections. Coming out of that, we'll have to look at a close-up picture because this is one of the details I looked at and I was like, ooh, that's going to be something. Coming out of there, he has this. And this is actually, it kind of has a screw pattern that actually, it's not straight, it's not lines that go straight back from the front to the back. They actually slant all the way around. So it's like a screw, which is probably some, oh, it's really hard to see. You can kind of see it there, but, oh, there you go. Well, it's still, hey, animation. So you can see there, so it kind of swirls around like that, like a screw kind of. So that happens, and then inside that's the iris. He also has a little bit of an eyebrow right here, and then I'm assuming there was 2 of these flaps at one point that stick out over, but right now he's only got one half of one, so we'll get that on there too. All right, so the first piece I'm gonna offset this like that. So I actually want 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm using the natural segments right now to divide this. Not that I know what I'm going to do, but 2, 3, 4 into these 6 sections, 6 red sections that he has right here on his eye. I'm gonna try to. No, that is not going to work. Sometimes autofold works, sometimes autofold doesn't work well. Let's see. How else can I do this? All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to come in here. On the vertical section, I'm going to grab these. Go to the middle. Let's say copy it from straight up. Option to here. X5, they'll put 1 on each side. And that was really to just break up. Ooh. Why did we not line up there? Sometimes stuff's simple. Oh, I do know why. Because this probably overlaps on the inside. Yup. Undo, 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 undo. Okay. I'm going to offset this just a tiny bit to give myself geometry to work with. Like that. And now I'm going to offset like this. That's why that push-pull didn't work, because this circle actually overlaps inside weirdly. See that? That's what was going on there. All right, but this, now that I have it this way, I should be able to move it straight out like that. Cool. All right, and now I'm going to get rid of a lot of these lines and put a couple in. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, those black divisions between the red sections here. And that's not a bad thing either, because that gives me, like I was talking about with the panel lines, another break. So that flat surface will be another piece of dimension in our robot here. All right, so now I can come in here and I'll do I didn't quite hit the edge of that last one. All right, so there, now I can take this geometry and this geometry. Now I have an issue though that I don't have a center anymore because it's not a circle, because I've messed with that geometry so many times. No problem, we can get a circle, we can get a line there. All right, so from here it's gonna come over. This geometry I want to copy. From the middle, from straight up, option, click here, X5. All right, that gives it to me at each. Wow,
Wowzers.
So I don't have a circle is what you're telling me. All right, back up again. All right. All right, I'm gonna try drawing a circle. I'm gonna make a circle. You will be a circle. Oh, here, I'll do some more. All right. Draw a brand new circle right here. And now, I'm just gonna draw another circle. I'm not even gonna offset. I'm gonna draw a brand new, another circle right here. And I'm going to move that in the green axes. Come out just a little bit. And now I'm gonna go create this piece right here. And then this piece right here. All right, grab those, and now I should have middle. Better believe I have a middle. Option 1, 2, 3, 4, X5. There we go. All right. Huey. More work than, okay. Anyhow, I'm gonna offset this slightly. And there's our eye so far. And now I want to create something new. I want to create kind of a gear shape. So I'm gonna, again, not quite sure what I'm doing here. I'm gonna offset this circle like that. I'm gonna put, maybe that will be enough. Let's see. I'll take that. I'm gonna go to here, option to here, X23. I'm gonna get rid, nope. Why you do that? Oh man, because I'm off again. Oh. This is all me, guys. The issue is I've been, again, constraining to the axes. And this is off axes. So when I come in here, oh no, it's not, it's vertical. What's going on? X24. 23. All right, I guess I just don't know what I just did. But we're good again. Nope, we're not good again. Why are we not good again? A thing is happening. I don't care for whatever this is that is occurring. Huh, okay. Time to work smarter, not harder. I don't know whose fault it is that I'm struggling so much, but thanks a lot, whoever that is.
I'm sorry, Aaron. I'm jinxing you. I've never done this before.
I guess so. Something's not right. All right, one option. Copy this over to here. X23. Why? This is so odd. All right, so this from here to here, that lines up. From here to here, that lines up. 22 more times. Okay, that time it worked. Okie dokie. All right, so that's gonna bring the eye out. And now I'm gonna grab this. And I'm gonna go to the middle, give it a little bit of a, actually twist this way, like that. That's gonna give me his, oh, it does go the other way. Then I'm going to grab all of this and do a quick, not all of it, actually I only want to get this lens. I don't want to get any of this geometry behind it because I'm going to come over here and turn on soft and smooth to get rid of those breaks in that mesh. But I didn't want to get these lines because I'm keeping these lines intentionally to color by. All right, now I can create, put a line right here again. See, something's not quite, I know we've said multiple times that this is not on plane, but something is just slightly off of the planes that I want, I want to be right. So like this. All right. All right. And I'm going to push pull this. In, offset that again. At this point I'm just making stuff up because there's a light here and I can't really tell. I'm just going to move this along green axes. Ooh, that's not going to work. I'll just push it back in. All right, something like that. It's hard to tell once you get in there. You just have a glowing light. So I'm going to say that's what we're going for. Like I said, he does have, and I think it actually, I think this is supposed to be like a little eyelid that runs along this track right here, but it actually goes, it moves, so in each picture it's actually in a little bit different spot. But what I want to do is take some of this geometry and I'm going to temporarily make a group. I'm going to that group, grab that surface, and I'm going to use a joint push pull to pull it straight out. Yeah, and that's all I'm going to do. No, it actually looks like it breaks a little bit. Come in here. Well, throw another panel line in. No, that wasn't quite at the break point, was it? There, back to there. Actually, I'll trace these same lines. Actually, there's a lot of actually-ing. I may. I didn't quite come down all the way. I may just take that and pull it all the way back. Yeah, there we go. Gives me another panel line. That looks pretty cool. I like that. All right, I'm gonna keep going down the center here. I'm just gonna run this long. Run this long. Take this across like that. And then, now I got to push that in. I'm gonna do another vector push pull because that worked out so well for me last time. Yeah, it did. Worked great. Shut up, dude. All right, this has sort of I'm gonna just find the center point, bring it up, and then like a little V-neck he's got right here under his eye. There we go. And now, same thing as before, I'm gonna offset just ever so slightly. And then I can pull this panel out. And then it looks like, let's go look at a big picture. Looks like this is another not so symmetrical shape. It looks like vents again, right here on the front. So I'm gonna do something with that. I'm gonna say we got, I'm gonna offset this. Like that. But we'll take this across on this side. And this side actually looks like it does step up again. And push that back in. One, two, three, four, five-ish. No, that's not what I'm going to do. It's not. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to offset this again. I'm going to take this line straight across. Do something like this. I don't know. I'm trying to get some of the imperfection that is in here. And I'm going to take this. So I want, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels. So I'm going to take this and divide it. So if I want 5 panels, that's 5 panels and then 4 spaces. So that's going to be a total of 9 segments. And I'm just going to draw lines across. I'm drawing lines across rather than doing an array because this does slope like that, so I can't just make an array. And that's a thing. All right, so now I'm going to alternate. Grab this right here, pull it out, 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 and then I'm going to come in here and push this in. Push this in, push this in, push this in. And it looks okay, but you can see the actual pieces are a little bit bigger than the gaps. So I'm gonna grab this one right here. Can I pull this vertically? No, I can't because of the angle. Good stuff. What can I do to add detail here? Ah, nothing. We're done. All right, save. That's what I'm gonna do. Let's save. All right, it looks like, moving on down, if I come, let's see, I'm gonna go, again, because I'm not on axes, I gotta use references where I can, so to put this plate in here, I'm gonna start by drawing a line edge to edge, because I can't just inference on there. I'm gonna come to the middle point there, middle point down here, because this looks symmetric-ish. I'll take this almost the outside edge and then come back up, something like that. Looks good. I'm gonna drop another flag here. Grab this, mirror, option click. You know, I actually did that at a model I was working on. I was doing that a lot, and I ended up at the top of the model putting a flag up, one sticking out of the front, because I was constantly mirroring, and I actually just left them there as I mirrored geometry back and forth. That worked out pretty well. All right, so this looks like it comes out a little ways. Offset that a little bit, and then say this goes in, offset it another time, and then offset, or yep. Push, pull that in. Something like that. And then it kind of looks like this piece right here actually carries straight down. And it looks like that's about where the body of the trap ends. So, because of all the connected geometry, I can't just grab that bottom piece right now, unfortunately, and bring it back up. So what I'm going to have to do instead is create a plane like this, and then intersect it, and then just delete that section off the bottom. And there is still a little bit of geometry that comes down below, but that's off of his main body. It's kind of comes onto the bottom there. And then this looks like a thing that's down here. I always wonder when you're a prop maker. I've heard prop makers talk about, you know, knowing why things exist. You know, don't just slap some lines on a thing, but think about what the thing is and why it is there and that kind of thing. But I think every once in a while you're like, because this is a boring space and it needs a thing. Got to put a thing here. Probably combination of both. All right.
A lot of this, to your original point, I think this is true as the game has progressed, is the characters, everything in the most recent game is non-symmetrical.
Yeah.
Which is phenomenal because you gain so much efficiency by having symmetrical. So they've taken the time to make everything really detailed and non-symmetrical, but it's making your life fun right now.
I got another array here, so I'm just gonna. This one is we're finally on a plane here. So I'm just gonna copy this down here, and I'm gonna say, I don't know. There's a lot of them. I'm gonna say 21x. Nope. /21 is what I'm gonna say. All right, there we go. And I'm just gonna give this a push in. Every other one. Make a quick and easy vent. And I did an odd number so that I would have a push in on either side. And then I'm just gonna get rid of these guys right here. And then along with that, I will pull this out a little bit, and this one comes out a little bit more. All right. It looks like I got another plate here, assuming is related to damage of some sort. That and joint push pull that. Actually, I'm gonna do this one a little different. I'm gonna offset this like that. I'm gonna grab that and move it. I'm gonna toggle auto fold like command and pull that out like that. I like that better. And it has a couple screws on it too, or nails or whatever. So I'm gonna put one right here.
Sewing pins.
Yeah, circles.
Could be anything. Yeah.
They're circles. So I asked for a shout out, but is anybody actually playing the game right now? And if so, who are you enjoying playing? Just throw out the name of your character if you are playing the game. All right, so that's okay. All right, so here's the thing I'm not loving right now. Well, it's all right. That's gonna be good. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna just keep modeling. All right, we got the back started too, so let's get some reference images of his back side. Go back to styles, remove my current watermarks, and I'm going to add new watermarks of his back. I think this one is back. Let me get that a little bigger. Sweet. All right, So here is these two pieces come down. You can see this one has another little thing on there. But where this ends, we have a transition of some sort to this little brick deal that looks like it comes out. So I'm gonna go ahead and follow this line. Actually, maybe I'll follow this edge right here. Take all the way to the bottom. Same thing over here on this side. Inference this. Take all the way. Whoops, lost my inference in there. There we go. That down to the bottom. And we do kind of come up. Grab that line.
We got one person playing Flack, Aaron, your
All right.
character.
That's who I got going on too.
Who's your favorite pet?
You know, I've gone back and forth. I've tried multiple pets, and I just really enjoy having a pet skag. As close as you can get to having a pet dog in the game. And apparently that's a good thing for me. All right. Pull this out just a bit, and then I'm going to grab just these three lines and do an offset. And I'm going to take this right here. I'm adding a little more detail. Well, actually, I guess I shouldn't. I shouldn't add detail. Stop it. I'm just going to take this and joint push pull it in. Nope, I want to vector push pull it in because I want to go straight across the bottom. There we go. All right, here, this pulls out that. We have a fairly centered rectangle right here. I use option draw from the center. A little bit higher with it.
I never remember to do that.
I know. I have spent so much time drawing one half of the triangle or the rectangle.
Yeah.
And this kind of looks like a handle. It looks like this little handle is supposed to pop up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go something like that. Go back out. And then I'll say that just getting geometry in here right now. Peek my head over. You ever move your head around in the real world to see better into your SketchUp model? Because I totally never always do that. All right, so got another circle right here for whatever reason. I'm gonna do the same thing I did on the first one and give myself a little bit of space there. And then the other thing I have here is a break right here. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did. I'm gonna just come over here ever so slightly off of that first point. Go parallel to this line. Oops. And then, again, just slightly off the edge. Get rid of that line in the middle. Whoops, too much. I got eraser happy there. All right, I'm gonna pull that back like that. Pull this one back the same distance, I think. All the way back to, there we go. There's that. So we got another plate over here. That parallel to this edge. And then right here, it kind of looks like there's just looks like a chunk of metal just kind of wrapped around this piece that sticks out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let me check my hidden geometry. Could be easy or it could be like this. So I'm going to come out and I'm basically just going to trace a line around. That's why I had to check for that break, because I do want this line to just be continuous all the way around. Same thing here, I'll come to the break. And I'll come over. There we go. And then come over like this. All right. Now I'm going to grab, turn my hidden back off. I'm going to grab this line, this, or these surfaces, and I'm going to use joint push pull to pull them all out. And that gives me something like that. Now when I did that, when you just do the standard joint push pull, it pulls each surface normal to itself, but it'll let you take them all combined together. And because if I had done that manually one piece at a time, I'd have to go back now and connect them all back together. But because it pulls them normally like that, I do end up with kind of a little bit of a mess here, which is okay given my model. But what I do want to do now is maybe take some of these points. Let's see, how could I go about this? That works. I'm gonna just grab geometry, little brute force modeling, and get it so it laps over itself correctly. We'll just shove this into the wall there. There we go. And now I can grab all of this, intersect face with selection. That's gonna intersect it all. And now I can come in here with my Alt command and smooth this out so it looks more like what I got going on the model here. Actually, even that's not quite. Looks like I got something here too. I'm just gonna never mind. Nothing. That got messy too quick. All right, I'm gonna trim my edges on the inside real quick. Nope.
Trim the edges of many small villages. Sorry.
All right. So there we go. And then in here, there's a surprisingly small amount of stuff. I was expecting there to be like lots of things in this little back alcove here he's got going on, but there really isn't. So I'm just gonna pull that out, and that's most of it. All right. So that is a lot of that part. Let's go grab a side view. So one thing, obviously, a big feature, brute force modeling. Mm-hmm. Guys, I got a lot of t-shirt ideas coming out of this. That's it. Next time we'll go hang out in my garage and we'll silk screen instead of coming out and hanging out here. All right. I'm gonna do the wheel real quick. I'm just laying down on the ground. I'm just gonna draw a circle. And come up here. All right, so The wheel itself is actually not very detailed. It's kind of just an ugly blob with some texture mapped onto it. So there's not a whole lot of like shape to take off here. So any of these kind of details we want to put on here, I'll have to throw into the profile that we do right now. It's kind of cool. It's actually one of the things I really liked about Borderlands was that look. It had a very specific aesthetic when it first came out, where it had almost like SketchUp. Like it kind of bragged on the lines that it had. It didn't shy away from edges and that kind of stuff. It actually intentionally showed them. They did have a little bit of a cell shading thing going on, but the lines were very intentional. I'm just realizing this is now right behind my head. So let's go, since this is the important part. This is actually our inference. Let's go double click this and move it to the lower right. Oh, well, maybe move to the upper right. Okay. And I'll just collapse my windows for right now. There we go. That's where we're looking to model. So what I'll do is we'll start with this kind of a hub thing like this. And then I'm going to say it, maybe it steps out a little bit. Some of these might be angles. And then I'm going to go from there to the middle. Something like that. All right. And now if I take that, I just want to see what this is going to look like. And I'll copy it over on itself. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, 3D mouse getting a little touchy. All right, and I'm going to grab another arc like that. That works. All right, so now I'm going to grab that profile, follow me around this circle. Guess what? I did that wrong. I'm going to grab the path. I'm going to hit follow me and then click the circle. You know, sometimes things that you absolutely 100% know how to do are the hardest things to do. You know, it's a Friday thing. Some Fridays are more Friday than other Fridays, just like some Mondays are more Mondays than other Mondays, but sometimes some Fridays are kind of like Mondays. Oh, you know what? I was actually going to do some more things there. Undo. I'm going to put some of these treads in here. So I'm just going to trace some lines back to the center like this. Because I'm not quite sure what I'm doing again. All right. Yeah, something like that. And I'm going to grab all of these. And I'm going to offset just a touch. Nope. I'm going to do there. 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 And then we'll do one here and one here. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Taking that geometry out to give us a little bit of a tread when we follow me. Like I said, it's cool because one of the things that, and this is, I thought this was awesome from the first game I picked up on this. When you first when the game's loading up characters and scenery and stuff, it'll load it in just the polygons with a low quality mesh and or low quality texture, and the texture will slowly start to build up. Not so much the new one, but the old one, when you first entered a zone or something like that, it looked terrible, and then all the textures kind of came back into focus, which is cool. There we go. That's a Claptrap tire. Okay, so I'm going to say reverse faces, and I am going to make this into a component. All right, so So I'm going to grab this by a middle point, and I'm going to place it on a middle point. So that was just to line it up. And the only reason I'm getting it on the middle point, again, if you have played the game, you know that basically most of Claptrap's movement is that box moving back and forth on the hips of his tire. So he's very expressive for a cube. But I'm lining up center so I can get it properly scaled. I'm gonna go. All right, that looks about right. The other thing about Claptrap's wheel is it actually retracts into him. So you can actually fold back up into a little box. All right. That looks okay for now. I feel like I want it to be a little wider though. That looks better. All right. Yeah, I was actually picking up on that. Oh, I think I figured out what the issue was. I was looking at one reference image and then another reference image didn't agree with the first reference image. But the reason is because, all right, so see all this stuff down here has got this like fender thing. I think if we look at a side view, yeah, see that's up here. The rest of his body actually continues on down. No problem. We can build that. We can do it. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoot this down vertically just a little more. I went and chopped off the top part, which is fine. It's a lot easier to extend like this. So I'm just going to take this line and carry it down. And I'll grab this line right here, carry it down. All right, so what I can do now, I need to switch up my watermark again. Change this watermark to maybe this one to have a little bit of a three. This guy's got a little bit of an angle. Yeah, but I'm looking at it from above. That doesn't help a whole lot. Well, I'll make it work. We will make it work. All right. So I'm going to come in here and we're going to kind of put that front fender shape on here. I'm going to drop it down to about here. The same thing I did on the top section. I'm going to grab these three lines. Whoops. And I'm going to offset them. This fender's actually fairly thick, it looks like. And I'm calling it a fender. I don't know what it actually is. Not that that's unusual as I model things. Not that I, on a fairly regular basis, make up names for things. All right, so we're going to pull that out there like that. And of course that's a fender, right? What else could that possibly be called? All right, we need to look at a side view. All right, so it kind of angles back and then it sticks out on the sides also. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna do something like that. Take that straight across. Take that up to here. Oops. Grab all of this. Intersect face with selection. And then I can trim off these edges right here. That will give me that tilt like that. And then I can pull this. No, I can't because it's not square. Come around like this. What am I going to do? Well, I'll joint push pull this. No, that is a. Is that, will a vector push pull that in the right direction? Nope. I'm just gonna keep trying push pulls till I get one that goes in the way I want. Nothing's gonna go the way I want. All right, how about this? I'm gonna draw what I want from above, and I'm just gonna push pull it down maybe. I do need a surface on the side here. Go from there, come straight back to here. Oh, this is my problem, is when I did a joint push pull, I didn't pull it out straight. I pulled it down at an angle. So I'm gonna fix that up right now. He said with authority. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Sorry, didn't mean to scare anybody. Stuff got serious for a second there. All right. So that's better. All right, now I'll take that. I'm gonna pull that to here, and I'm gonna build off of this to get that shape I want. Down to here. Take that back to here. Here we go. Nope, not vertical. Almost vertical. I'm trying to kind of follow the same shape, I guess, as we have going on in other places. Let's see, follow this. All right, and now I'm going to do the same thing I did before. Get rid of some of these surfaces. And then I'm going to grab, oops, oh, I'll have to close it up afterwards. Grab these, and these two. And from, where's a good center line? All right, here we go. There we go, grab that. Stick that over there. That up, get rid of these extra lines, and we have a clappy fender. So now hopefully he looks less short. Oh, I can get rid of this. It's getting there. Still doesn't look quite the same. Yeah, it's going to work for right this second. On the sides, this comes down and then it shoots right back up. And then you can see the bottom is a little bit higher than the front. So it still looks like it's maybe something like this going on. Then we got something like this. We have to come back and clean up that underneath geometry, but right now we're roughing it in. And then this doesn't come back very far, and almost immediately comes up. And this is actually in line with this whole. Just gonna go ahead and decide where these are right now. Right there. That's what I decided. And that something like that. All right. Yeah, that's what is happening. All right, I'm gonna mirror that over again. This is really, I'm surprised I don't have a shortcut on that mirror yet. I just need I need a make flag command. Yes, Michael's pointing out that I could have modeled half of it and used a component to make it symmetrical. But one of the things we looked at when we were first looking at the images, we noticed that there isn't a lot that is symmetrical on this model. There's actually a whole lot of asymmetry. So we intentionally did not mirror this thing. Let's look right here. Good. So here's one side. Here's the other side. Those are actually pretty similar. So I guess it's only most of the details. Oh, I gotta get these clips on one side, and then the other side only has the one clip because it's got this big thing over here. The sides actually could maybe have been the same. That would be possible. So, yeah, could have done that. But apparently I'm not gonna. So, thanks. You were not wrong. I'll just say that. This is an excellent point. All right, I'm gonna kind of try to close up a little bit of this. It's because an empty open model like that makes me shudder. So something like that. I'm gonna force that all into one. I got rid of all this. Make that a much simpler mesh like that. There we go. If I can even simplify that, go right here. There we go. Get rid of that inside mesh altogether. Keep it simple. Claptrap. All right, there we go. I'm gonna say that's what I want. Nobody can argue with me because no one knows what I'm thinking.
That doesn't stop us from arguing with you.
Oh, I didn't say you couldn't argue with me. I said you can't say that I'm not thinking that. That's all. Awesome. So, all right, that looks cool. Let's get some details in here on the arms. Let's start with this. See if this will work. Hey, how about that? All right. Cool. So closed up-ish. Cool. All right. These arms include, the first thing is this kind of door. So it's got like some kind of a hinge here. So there's a little bit of a cut in at the top. We'll go in and drop that in, and then we'll have these flaps sticking out on either side. So I'm gonna do just that. I'm gonna come up to here. And then we're just gonna take this straight back like this. This might be a little straighter than actually what happens, but it's gonna work for what we're doing. And I'm gonna go to the middle here and get rid of this. Go to the midpoint there. Give me midpoint. All right. And then just like this. All right, and to get that, again, those panel lines, I'm going to do this a little bit differently than what I did before, because I'm going to take these ones, I'm going to say option, and then just copy them over 1/16. I don't know what I just did. All right, 1/16 of an inch. A thing just happened there. I don't know what it was. Something popped up. All right, and then I'll do the same thing here. Because offset won't work over an edge like that, that's why I chose to do that separately. Because now that I have that, I can grab these pieces, I can grab the surfaces all along here. Oops. There we go. Now I can grab all these pieces and I can use joint push-pull to push those in. Just enough to get that panel line again. That intersection is being caused by that joint push-pull being slightly out of plane with my bottom here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. What I'm going to do is just simplify, grab all that geometry, intersect face with selection, and then if I want, I can hop in here then. So just a little bit of cleanup to do. Those extra pieces. Then I can get rid of that. Like so. Oh, unless it's not that easy. There we go. That's interesting. It pulled the two different angles down or two different sides down at different directions. I'm sure there's some math justification as to why that happened. Whoa, that was odd. Whoa, 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 hold on. What the heck? Big mess. But at this point, we're back to brute force apparently. What the heck happened? This is a mess. Oh my gosh. Everybody look away. Look away! Oh my gosh, what is going on here? That was the ugliest joint push-pull of the world. Wow. Okay. Never look at hidden geometry again. I don't know what happened right there. I apologize to everyone. All right, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to delete all that out because then I'm going to come here. I'm going to grab all of this. Minus that. Plus this. That should get everything I need. I'll actually have to put this in again. All right, and then one more time. I'm just going to leave this flag on Claptrap for right now. Nope, I'm gonna leave it. Leave it. All right, and then I can just fill these pieces in. And yes, you're right, a component would have helped there, but I did not do that. So anyhow, here's these are. We're good. So I want to draw these arm flaps. Where are we at? It's 2 o'clock. Oh, we got like an hour left. No problem. We are gonna nail this. I'm gonna put these arm flaps on, and then we'll model his arms real quick. And the final piece will be his undercarriage. want to get crude or anything. This is a family show. All right. Close that up. Extra lines. All right. Cool. So his arm flaps. I'm gonna swap photos again. You notice I'm not actually reloading new images at this point. I'm just double clicking on the watermark, clicking browse, and then I can go to my the screenshot I want to use, and then hit OK. So I don't actually have to go totally reload that every time. All right, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna figure out how long that flap is. I'm gonna say it goes to about here. And then I'm gonna grab that square right there and just copy it out. Now I know that this is the biggest it can get, so it has to fit inside there. So this actually looks a little wider than what we actually got going on. More interpretive we're going for. All right. Once again, this is Aaron's version of the thing we're modeling. No, maybe it just has to be longer. Maybe that's all. Maybe I'll just grab these two lines and move them down vertically. There we go. Now the proportions work better. I think that's what it was. That's what I'm gonna tell myself. All right, so grab that. And just for this, I'm gonna grab all of this. I'm gonna make it vertical and work in plane. Spoil myself, I know. This is, decadent modeling. I get to use rotate to make copies of things. Oh, good stuff. That's where we're at. All right, so this, grab that. I'm just gonna kind of mock this up in 2D real quick. Still looks like it needs to be longer. There we go. Something like that. Take this and give this some depth. And then what I think is going on here, it looks like these got like fold over each other, something like this. So I'm just gonna do a shape kind of like, not kind of like this, exactly like this. That is exactly what I just drew. So I think it's something like that where they're folding over each other. It does look like I have a little bit of maybe a hinge thing going on in here, so I'm going to do this and this. That was not a straight line, so it's okay. And then I'm going to throw a circle right here, move it over right here, extend it out. And that's kind of looking like my whole arm flap. Oh, yeah. Maybe I'll do something like this. Try to keep it solid. I'm working into negative space right there, so. There we go. That's better. All right, so I'm going to grab that, make it a component. I'm going to do this the same way I did the wheel. I'm going to temporarily grab it by a spot I know is the middle, and put that into a spot I know is the middle. From there, I can drop this down vertically, move it in, we're on red axes, like that. I want to make it a little wider. All right. And once again, I'm going, actually, before I mirror it, I want to pivot it up a little bit. I'm going to use those circle points I put on there. So I'm going to go here, come in here, find the middle, and then it's kind of Claptrap's look as those things sticking out. There we go. Now I can mirror that option onto here. Awesome. It's coming together. All right, so somewhere in here, somewhere under here, an arm connects and comes out. This arm is going to be pretty simple, I think. Nope, I want to add a new one. I want to change the current one. So I'm going to just double click. And I have a big arms Claptrap. Gun show. All right, I'm going to scale it down just a touch. Here we can see his two different arms. And really this is going to be pretty simple. We'll use a couple components. 1, 2, maybe 4 different components. So I'm going to start in here. Actually, I'm not. I'm just, yeah, no, I do want to start. I want some reference. So I'm going to start on the body. Oh, but I really want to stay on plane. So forget that plan. I'm going to draw a circle on the ground. Bring it up. Offset it. Bring it up. All right, so this is the first ring right here. I'm going to offset that, not very much. And then bring that out. This is the second ring right here. Then offset that again. Push, pull that up. That's going to come in like that. Now I have this little line right here. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to offset just a bit, push up just a bit, and then I'm going to offset back out to the same dimension. So now I can pull this up, push, pull, no, wrong command, to there. I'll bring this up also, get rid of that. Now I can come back in here and I can actually tighten this up. Again, what I'm looking for right here is basically that panel line. So just the little line. And what I can do, once I have that, I can actually grab it and then grab it by a point. There we go. Option. And I'll drop it right there on top again. Then I'll grab this. Stick that on top too. There you go. So that represents that right there. And now I can just come in and if I have to adjust that dimension to make that look correct, that's going to be easy. Rather than having to do offset and push pull over and over and over again, it's kind of a simpler solution. All right, so that gets us to the end of this yellow band. It looks like maybe we got a little bit of a reduction. Comes out like that maybe. And then a bigger step down to a much thinner segment. And then offset that back out. Bring that up like that. And then, all right, I got some broken segments here, so I'm gonna do a couple things. I'm gonna triple click, and I am. I wonder if I can put this under his arm. There we go. I'm gonna soften and smooth everything. Get rid of those. I'm also gonna do a group select like this. Go to extensions, and I'm gonna go clean up and here are my stray edges. So I had some broken pieces in there that were showing through. All right, so from here it looks like the last thing I need on this arm, so something joins up back here. I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna place a rectangular post, a square post in fact, like this, because the square post is gonna be easier to pivot straight. I'm just gonna make that like that. And then right here, it looks like he's got some kind of a joint. It looks like on one side, it's maybe two pieces of metal and the other one's got one going inside with a screw connecting it. So I'm gonna make up a thing here. I'm gonna say it looks exactly like something like this.
You have multiple people who are all stressed out about the safe nature of your model.
Save?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not saving enough for you?
Not enough.
My gosh.
Or at least not calling it out.
All right, so I am, if you guys watch, down in the lower left corner, it does show what I'm hitting, and I pretty much, my rule is before I hit any extension, I'll just tap Control S, Command S, and save. So I apologize. I don't mean to stress anyone out. Sometimes I do it without trying. Not intentional. But yeah, I'm trying to get better. You guys know where I'm at with that. I'll call attention to it. All right, so I'm gonna just take those. We're gonna come up some amount. And then I'm gonna throw, looks like it's a little further back. I don't need an actual mechanical joint here, so I'm just gonna do that, and then oh man. Sometimes I get real excited when I can delete a whole circle like that in one go without having not already missed a spot. It's those little victories in life you got to take pride in, you know? Mm-hmm. All right, so that's his upper arm. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to make all of that into a component. Upper arm. And now from there, I'm going to work on his lower arm. Obviously, I don't want it all the way that low. All right, so something happens there. I don't know. So it looks like what we got is, this is an unusual profile. We'll put a circle at the middle of this rectangle. Pull that down for right now. It's gonna come down to about there, and then it's gonna get a cut right there. Come back to that in 1 second. Looks like he's got a couple pieces going up to another circle. So I'm gonna grab this circle right here. I am going to option copy it vertically. Try to get about the right relative. Not like that. And then I'm gonna put a couple circles on here. Pull that up to there, and then double click, double click. All right, so I don't like that. I'm gonna scoot that over. That I like better. All right, and then that has what appears to be a smaller circle that comes up a little bit, and then this gets bigger for his wrist. And from there, we get into hand stuff. So I'm going to take all of that I just made, and I'm going to call that. And I know my proportions aren't right. That's why I want to get this done. I'm going to say, make that component, lower arm, and I'm going to grab both of these. I'm going to rotate to 90 degrees. Line this up with the center of the armpit. Slide it vertical. Oh, what did I do to the back? Oh, I moved something. Shame. I'm just gonna smooth it all. So at some point, when I was doing a group select, oops, I don't want to. When I was doing a group select, I grabbed too much geometry, obviously, because it broke. Something back here got selected and moved. Oops. If only I was recording all this modeling and I could go back and look exactly when I screwed that up. So, I probably won't ever do that though. What is going on here? Wow, this really got moved a lot. Right, I'm gonna have to actually delete that. All right, there we go. Okay. Okay, so obviously, right now I can tell this the whole thing's too big, which is fine. So I'm going to Option Shift. No, just Option. Shove that back in the pit. That's about right. I'm content with that. All right, and I'm going to grab this and I'm going to rotate it by there, something like that. Okay, so in here, this all needs to move down a little bit. What? Where'd my lost my? He's got a floaty hand. All right, there we go. And then this piece has to come out some more. All right, that looks okay. Now it looks like we have kind of a rounded, a domed shape. It's got like two pronged wires coming into either side of these hands. So I'm just going to keep this simple. Just going to put an arc right here like this. Grab this and follow me. Give me that ball shape. And then, all right, I gotta figure something. I gotta save and breathe for a second. Okay, now that that's done, let's figure out these hands. It looks like I'm gonna draw this out of scale again, but I have to because I gotta figure out what this thing is. So it looks like got something like this. I just did that weird. All right, let's give me some depth. Scale this. Something kind of like that, and then on the back it looks like it does a thing. Assuming the back of his hand is the same as the back of his thumb. kind of does that. And then go grab this now, scale it. Yeah, so we got something roughly that shape, something like that. And on the inside, got some kind of grippy thingies, another technical term. So I'm going to offset this slightly. It's like the end of his fingertip doesn't have grippies. And then I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to take this line, I'm going to say divide it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I know you can actually type in segments, I'm aware of that, but I've gotten so used to, like, you ever get in those habits where I slide it and watch the dots show up and I enjoy it, so I always do that instead of typing exact segments. I don't know, it's a thing. Yeah, Tyson says, so it happens.
I'll allow it.
Good deal. All right, so for these, I'm imagining in my head these are kind of like pads. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset them. Because I don't want these to be complicated and huge amounts of geometry. I'm going to grab each of these now. And I'm going to move them vertically to kind of create that. And I'm going to assume that's kind of what is intended here. Because I want to. All right, whoa, 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 whoa. Just got deep, went inside. Okay. So if that is the hand, we need a thumb, which is going to be a smaller version. So I don't want to redraw it, so I think I can edit this. I can take this, I'm going to scale it horizontally to make, first thing I'm going to do is make it unique and change its name from hand number 1 to thumb. Not that anybody here's ever done that before, huh? And I'm gonna, actually I don't know that it's thinner, I think it's just shorter. So I'm gonna come into this, hide the rest of my model, and I'm going to, not quite that many. I'm gonna get rid of these last 4 pads on here. And then weird stuff's going on here. Time to go inside. Okay. Had some unhappy surfaces. And we don't want that. We want happy little surfaces. Sweet. So now, nothing's going to be easy here. All right, I'm going to take this and just cut his thumb off. Yo! And then I'm going to take that and I will scale that a little smaller. Boom. That's what's going to be happening. Slide this. Line it up. Oop, I don't think I lined up with centers. I think I lined up arbitrary point there. There we go. All right, so there we have a trap clap Claptrap. Trap hand.
Clappy clampers, clamp tramp, retention. There's a couple
There's
comments on them.
there are things. Oh, you're right. Is it on both? It's actually wonky on both. Look at this. Christopher Morin's pointing out that something's off. It's off here too. I did something.
It's not a bug, it's a feature. It's intentional.
Can you have features in your own modeling? I think at some point you got to take responsibility for that. Yeah, I did that wrong. There we go. Uh-oh. Something's wronger than I let on. Nope, something's still not lining up right. What the crap? Pardon me, didn't mean to get PG-13 on you like that. What is this about? What? Oh man. All right, this will end up on 3D Warehouse as always, guys, but no critical reviews, all right? Because I don't know what's happening. Oh. Some Fridays are more Friday than other Fridays. All right, let's see. I do this. What happens? Ew. That whole side's off axes? Now I don't even know how I fixed it last time. All right, pick a point, and that's the point we're gonna go to. Did I actually fix it? Oh, the top's off. Oh, it's all falling apart.
Just undo back to when it was all like looked.
Yeah. I can't now. Now that I know it's there, I can't look away. Oh my gosh. All right, there. No. No, go to the wrong spot. I know where it should be. Inferencing is so smart. It's telling me, no, you're doing it wrong. All right. Thanks, Chris. No, but seriously, thanks, Chris. Thanks for catching me on that one. That was awesome. Oh boy. This is looking like a cartoon version of a station wagon. The more I look at it. All right, there we go. Unwonky as far as you can tell without hidden lines.
You have some commiseration. People understand.
Oh boy. Yeah, stuff's happening. All right, I don't want to spend a ton of time on this, but we do have an opportunity to do some follow me with some pipes here, so we're going to. Plus, I mean, once we throw these arms on, we should really like to close up the bottom, and we're there. What are we at right now? Quarter to 5, or quarter to 3. Whew, yeah, still Friday. You know, I think my problem was, and I know I've complained about this because this has happened before. Yesterday I ended up working at home. I don't normally work at home. I think it broke me a little bit. My brain, like, for the longest time this morning I thought it was Monday. And I haven't, whoops. Haven't come back. All right. All right. There we go. All right. So I'm actually gonna grab this. Come down here, paste this. Paste this. Give me midpoint. Give me midpoint. So it's right here. That's a good reference. Whew. Okay. Do the same thing here. All right, so what I want to do, let's start by rotating this just slightly open. Make that a group, not a component. That way I can rotate his hands into different orientations. Oh, I know it's going to be too big, but I can't help myself. It's just slightly out of scale. They're about the length of his forearm. All right. All right, that's just a little bit too big. Just a bit, just. All right, there we go. Slide him down just a bit back over. All right, so what we got is some kind of, just looks like a wire that goes back and then comes back in on the thumb. So I'm gonna draw something like that. Come out this way. I'm gonna come through here. I want to go at 90 degrees to this. So I'm going to tap the down arrow twice to come at 90 degrees. And then draw a line that returns. And I can grab these two and just rotate them down. Oh, that's pretty cool. Move it up just a little bit though. Okay, now we'll grab a circle, about that big, and I'm going to put some slight arcs on here. I'm going to go to arc. I'm going to set my sides down like 3, a low number of lines on this corner because I'm getting pretty small with this. So now I can triple click this line, follow me, pick the circle, and then pull this back to adjust the lengths. Get rid of that line. I'm going to triple click and just make that a group. I'm just going to group that geometry together for right now. I'll just click in here and reverse faces too. The correctest, the most rightest thing to do. All right, and it looks like this one, it looks like what that actually does, it turns and goes back inside here. So maybe I will actually do just that thing. So I'm going to have to go from the center, come out, and go parallel to this line right here. Now if I want to run it long, see that's to the surface, I can come like this and I can pull it down into the body a little bit. And then I'll put another low poly arc right here. triple click this. Follow me again and bring that circle the rest of the way down. So first thing I'll do is orient my faces back and then re-soften, and I can actually get rid of that circle right there. All right, so there we go. We got one half of his hand. I don't know. This one looks like it comes out and then turns. Maybe it comes back and then, I don't know. Oh, Claptrap, what are you doing? All right, so this comes through here maybe, and then maybe it comes like, no. I don't know. Making stuff up. All right, I'll start with that. And then I'm gonna rotate that down. Once it gets here, it might come down. And then maybe it will come over, and then it will go perpendicular to this line. Yeah, that's, I totally buy that. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Oh, there we go. So I'll slide that. So it's about where the other one is. All right, and I'm gonna throw some arcs on here. I'm gonna throw some more arcs on here. I don't know. I guess generally speaking, if you're trying to copy existing work, more than one angle is probably an excellent plan. Maybe that can be the lesson for today. That, and I think Tyson said something smarter earlier. All right, there we go. All right, so now I'm gonna go grab this circle. And I'm gonna paste it. I'm gonna set it right here for right now. I don't have a center. Move that right to there. All right, triple click. Again, follow me with the circle. Triple click, re-soften that thing, triple click, and make it a group. All right, so why not? We'll say that that is exactly what Claptrap's hand is supposed to look like. All right, so we will make all of this part of our Claptrap arm group, and then I'm gonna copy it here, and I'm going to select it, and I'm going to come right here and bring it down so it doesn't hit the door. I'm going to do this one and rotate from about the same spot, but I'm going to go down intentionally a little farther just to get some asymmetry.
Though you have a few people who really want you to move those arms up closer to the eye.
Yeah, I buy that. All right, so I'm gonna have to grab these. I'm gonna have to go invisible again. Come in here, find the center of this point, and I will have to bring them up. Which, like I said, is perfectly okay because those weird, almost like puppy dog ear looking pieces are part of his charm, I think. And I'll grab both arms together and just lock on horizontal. Oh yeah, you guys were right, as usual. All right, so that means I gotta take this one and rotate it up a little more, which is cool. get that just so. And I think I mean, I might be wrong, but I think in the game, these just kind of hang, and as he moves his arms, he kind of bumps them. Like, I don't think they're powered. I think they just kind of respond to his frantic flapping. Yeah, shoulder pads.
I think
Works.
puppy dog flaps is appropriate. It's
All right, so I'm gonna do a couple things here. We gotta close some geometry up. This will be one piece that we'll close. Close this too. Right here, I'm gonna pull this one straight across to here. This should line up, so this should be easy to close up. And then maybe that's not gonna be so easy. How about that? How about that? All right. And same thing here. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. All right, that's a lot of all rights, I know. I really don't know what this is supposed to look like. Let's go back to his, let's take a peek at his tail again. That does cut in. I just pushed it in. This does actually, whoa, 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 whoa. Look at this. Look at this mess I made. Man, I don't even know what happened here. Seriously. Whoa. What the? Oh boy. All right. I just feel like I should apologize. Sorry y'all had to see this. All right, I'm wipe, clean in house. I mean, that's obviously whatever I did to upset all the polygons on the back. That was part of it. I did a group select at some point and just tore it up. Oh, bad things. All right. All right, so for right now, I'm gonna leave that like that. I know we got some pit detail we can throw in here. Actually not a lot. So we've got a vent in there. Maybe we get to freestyle a little bit here. Okay, I'm gonna offset something like this. Offset this. Push this in. Push that in. Divide this edge again, some odd number. There's a little more work to draw these lines across because I got to pivot it each time to be able to see inside. But, we can handle it. As long as you don't get easily motion sick. And here we go. I wonder, no, it couldn't have been copying. I'm still hung up on how I made the mess I made. I know, just let it go. Doesn't matter. Or are you all saying the opposite? You're like, yeah, figure that out. What's your problem? All right, so I'm gonna offset this. I'm gonna do this a little different, so I'll pull this side out. Offset that in, push that in, yeah, something like that. All right, precision selection now. There's the geometry I want to copy. Hey, where do you think you're going? All right, remove this, and this, and this, and this. Oh, nope. Remove too much. All right. I think that's good. So one of the things I've done in the past when I think, oh, look at that, sneaky. To check to make sure I have the right geometry selected is do a move, copy. So I can copy this over like this and check what am I grabbing. So I am grabbing some extra geometry, but that geometry there, the little piece that's sticking in there, that actually exists on the other side, so it probably wouldn't be a terrible thing if, I don't even know where that is. Oh, there we go. It probably wouldn't be a big deal if that copied over. So I'm gonna come over here and I'm just gonna mirror it. Option click. Look at that. That looks. I'm okay with this. All right, so we're getting close. I'm starting to like the little flag on Clappy's face. All right, so the two pieces I definitely want to get in here. These little shocks that go up, disappear up into the body cavity. Speaking of body cavity, I think I will offset this, push this up to kind of give us something going there. This is not correct, I know. I just had to close that geometry up. He does have some stuff in here, so I'm just gonna, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing a thing. Put a thing across this, and maybe we'll come across like the snap to that point, take that straight across. All right, so something like that's happening. He does actually look like he also has kind of fenders over the wheels. So that is a detail I respect. And I'm going to have to do that. Take that straight, whoops, take that straight across to here. And then we'll take it back. And then I'm going to pull this out, this out. I should be able to, this should be fairly simple because I should be able to like just connect all this together. You know, I've never cared for the word should. Because should never works. Should's always like an oops waiting to happen. All right, I'm gonna grab these three surfaces and I'm gonna mirror those over also. It's easier to mirror that geometry since my push-pull, I'm just gonna pull this out to the same length as my little bumper here. That one. Simpler to grab that geometry right off the surface. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. No. All right. Here's some lines I can erase. All right, so there's my little fender popping. I can see it does kind of jut out right here. I have a feeling we're not, we're straying away from the original design a little bit right now, but I'm also getting to the point where I'm like, I want to make sure I finish something. So we've gotten to that point right now. Oops, where was that line? Make sure we wrap up some level of actual trap. All right, so that's better. That's looking better. No, hold on to that. Just a minute longer. I do have, again, not a detail I'm too stressed about getting terribly right, but that's his hand. There you go. There's what we got for a little shock piston type dealy. There's a little bracket with a nut in it, which leads to kind of some kind of a hydraulic piston and another housing on the top. That's all the reference I'm going to take. I'm out. So we're going to head over here. See if I can find the center. I can't. All right, so I'm going to go draw a circle right here. This is going to be the bolt thingy that I build this off of. Back it up a little bit. All right, and I'm going to draw a rectangle from the center of this circle. Hold down Shift and that'll keep it, or I'll just hit the red axes. All right, so something like that. That's going to be the first part of bracket, which I kind of already forgot what it looks like, but it doesn't matter because I'm making this up. And I'm going to put a circle right here. I like that size.
Somebody's commenting, axle, yes, it's an axle. I want to know how many people out there that, maybe this is just me, so often I don't know what something is called, and I think that's what lends itself to my lazy component naming, because I'm like, I don't know, so I don't name my components because I...
Oh, that
Bad.
is too true. I end up using the word thing a lot, so I'll come up with some sort of a descriptive term and just slap thing on the end of it. And then that works. That ends up working. All right, I'm going to soften this all together. And I'm going to cut this here, and cut this here. And I'm going to just grab this surface. I'm going to rotate it from the middle, option, other side. Rotated wrong. I got rushed. I hurried. All right, so I'm going to say from here, option, here. Cool. All right, and now these are going to come up. Get rid of some of this. I'm going to get rid of that and that. And then these will have to be smoothed. Awesome. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Smooth all the rest. All right, and now I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do, whoops, this. That up. Nope, surface. There we go. I'm gonna surface out to here. And then that's gonna go way up. Awesome. Now I can grab all of that, minus that. Mirror again. Then we have an axle on the other side as well. All right, he's pretty close to closed up. I'm going to grab some of this junk and re-soften that. That looks good. Oh, all right, where we at? All right. 3 more quick things. This eyebrow piece never got made, so I'm gonna do something real quick here. This should come over right, like I said, I think to the middle. Oops. Make that a group. It kinda comes out that, and it sort of has a profile like that. And then we have over here, what's going on here? Oh, okay. It's cool. Everything's cool. All right. All right, I had a couple more pictures. So these little clampy things, I do want to put on. Over here, he has just the one. Grab that. Option, copy it over. I'm going to grab these two, and I'm going to do a vector, because I want to bring it straight out this direction. Is that red? Yeah, red. I'll pull it out just on the red axes, like that. Throw a circle in there. A little bit of bump out. Boom. That's that clamp done. And then two more over here. Maybe I'll do this just once and then copy it. Copy, copy. And since these surfaces are parallel, I should be able to just grab this one, copy it over like that. And now, same thing, I'll do a vector. And then, whoops. Oops, how'd that, oh, it slid that one selected. There we go, select those two, vector, double click. All right, and then a couple of not in the same place circles. And we can deflag him now. All right. Hey. All right, I'm okay with this. I think I'm there. I think I'm as close to there as I'm gonna get. I think I'm here. Oh man, look at this. Look at all this beautiful detail I blew off. All right, I'll be there in 3 minutes. I'm just gonna draw some shapes on here. I'm not even gonna worry about like parallel or, oh, okay, a little closer to parallel than that, but. Just want to get some, I don't even know what it looks like on this side, but it's gonna look something like this. This is just normal joint push pull because I want them all to just come out normal. All right, there we go. And then we got another one. This one comes from way down low. Mm-hmm. Oops, that was off plane, the worst possible way. All right, there we go. There, that's better. There's some circles on here I can't ignore too. Big one right here. Couple little guys down here. Whoops. Yes, yes. All right. That's better. So, so many things I still want to do, but that's it for now. I'm gonna save. This is one of those models where I think I'm too close. I love this model. All I'm doing is looking at it going, oh, no, this isn't right. This isn't right. This isn't right. A lot of people probably wouldn't pick up on the things that I have issue with, but it did turn out kind of cool. I can't complain about this. I think this turned out. This is definitely a funny looking. They do call him a funny looking robot. So, should probably make some more stuff into groups. But yeah, so there we go. That's my Claptrap. Oh no, hold on. I still can't. I'm so sorry. Over here, his left arm is different from this arm, so I do have to come in here. This is not a thing that I can let go. I can't. Plus, it's a quick and easy fix. So I can go like this and grab all of this, move it up to here.
Did you make it unique?
I hope. Nope. Kidding. All right. Make unique. You learn from my mistakes. I've heard it said before. All right, grab that. Scoot that all up here. All right. There we go. That's close enough. Now we're at the place we're at. So yeah, some proportions weren't great. In hindsight, I kind of wonder if I just didn't have a good straight-on picture to use as a template. But maybe that would have been fun, but I don't know. It was kind of fun to just wing it too. Try and get him in the same pose. I really did something, Christopher. Well, that's that. Thanks for coming by. Sorry, I really noticed that was more than ever before. I had my head down and I apologize. I know there was a lot of comments, especially on YouTube. You guys are chiming in quite a bit, and I apologize. Please don't feel like I blew you off. I didn't. I just got in a weird zone. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and hopefully everybody learned something, because I learned some things. I did some stuff that I have never done before when modeling, so that's kind of cool. That's always fun. But let us know what you thought. Obviously, leave comments, that sort of thing. And we're always looking for new ideas too. So as usual, please, if there's a cool thing you can think of to model, please let us know what it is. If you can think of something that's fun. And I always say, you may know all about something by a part number, but don't just tell me to model a JP74 because I don't know what that is. So give me a little more detail than that if there's something you think would be cool. That'd be fun to model. Something to mention, next week we'll be right back here. Never mind. Next week will be same as normal. That's it. I think next week is Ask Me to Model Anything. So you might want to come with your best ideas of some quick models to do or examples of specific workflows you'd like to see. I think we're doing another AMTMA. So that'll be fun. That'll be a good time. Usually, it's a little painful. There's a little more sweat with those than modeling a thing, but yeah, that'll be something. So that's where we're at. I might flip through and see if there's, I don't think I've looked up for the last hour. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to you all for showing up. I want to say thank you for Tyson. Tyson, all those times you saw somebody reply on the chat, that was Tyson. That was not me. I did not do those things. So he was nice enough to spend some time with us this afternoon. Thank you very much, Tyson. Thanks for being here.
Woo, it's fun.
And
Good times,
thank you. You got model a turkey. That could be something. Actually, we were talking about another organic model, not now, but in a not too distant future. It's been a while since we've done, I think Toy Story is the last organic modeling we did. But if you guys do think of something that would be a fun organic model, throw that out here. Yeah, maybe a turkey would be it. That could be a fun one. But that's really all I got. So thank you guys. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next week. So I really don't have any happy holidays or anything like that to wish you. Hopefully you guys come back again. Like I always say, that it's a fun thing to do, but if you weren't here with us, this would just be me and Tyson sitting in a room modeling, which wouldn't be bad, but it's much better when you're here. It means something. So thank you. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thanks again. Thank you always. Hopefully we'll see you guys next week. We'll be back with, like I said, I think it's Ask Me to Model Anything, but keep an eye on your favorite social channel because we'll post Thursday and Friday, letting you know specifically what it's going to be. Until then, remember to save. We'll leave the chat open, so if you guys have some ideas of good models, go ahead and throw those in there. Otherwise, we'll catch up with you guys next week. Thank you.